When I look back at that night, the strangest part isn't the moment when my vision blurred or when the pain crushed through my ribs like a closing fist, that it's the silence. The split second when I realized the people who claimed they were protecting me were the ones who might actually let me die. Caleb's birthday party was in full swing, music thumping, lights wrapped around the fence, guests laughing like they were in a commercial. I sat in a plastic chair near the edge of the yard, trying to breathe without drawing attention. My chest felt tight, like someone had cinched a rope around it and kept pulling. I kept one hand pressed against my sternum, hoping no one would notice. Of course, someone did. "Lena, you don't look great," my cousin Harper said, carrying a plate of something fried. "Are you okay?" "I'm fine," I lied. "Just tired." Before she could say anything else, my mother appeared, Helen Mercer, queen of cardiac nursing, ruler of every conversation, and the last person on earth who believed anything I said. "Oh please," she said, waving dismissively. "She's always tired. Always something wrong. Lena, try not to look like you're attending your own funeral. At least pretend you're happy to be here." Her co-workers stood behind her with polite smiles that didn't reach their eyes. They'd heard about me. My mother made sure of it. "Is this the daughter with the anxiety issues?" one whispered. Not quietly enough. "Yes," Mom said. 4 ER visits in 3 months. Nothing wrong every single time. But she insists she's dying. I swallowed hard, because I knew I wasn't imagining it, that I knew something in my chest was wrong, deeply wrong, but every doctor Mom talked to dismissed me before I could finish explaining my symptoms. She always cut in. Always translated my fear into something embarrassing. The truth was, a cardiologist named Dr. Alan Vernon had already found what the ER missed: not anxiety, not a panic disorder, hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, a thickened heart muscle, an obstruction that could turn deadly without warning. But when I told my mother, she laughed in my face. "If you had a heart condition, Lena, I would have seen it long before some overcautious cardiologist. You are perfectly healthy. Stop looking for diseases that aren't there." Now, at the party, the pain suddenly sharpened. It shot down my arm, the world tilted. "Mom," I whispered. "I need to sit down. I think something's wrong." "You're having a panic attack," she snapped. "Breathe. And stop doing this in front of people. Caleb doesn't need your drama today." Caleb marched over with a champagne glass and a scowl. "Seriously, Lena? On my birthday? Can't you do this any other time?" I couldn't even answer. Words got stuck somewhere between my chest and my throat, and then, like fate stepped into the yard, Dr. Vernon walked through the gate. He froze the moment he saw me gripping the chair, gasping for breath. "Lena," he called, hurrying toward me. "What's happening? How long has this been going on?" My mother stiffened. "Alan, she's fine. She gets these episodes all the time." He ignored her completely, took my wrist, and checked my pulse. His expression changed instantly. "Helen," he said sharply, "call 911. My mother blinked. "Alan, she's having anxiety, she's in cardiac distress," he snapped. "If you don't call an ambulance, she could go into full obstruction. Move." The yard went silent, people stared, someone called 911. Someone ran for aspirin. My mother just stood there, staring at him like she'd been slapped. Doctor Vernon stayed by my side, his voice steady, grounding me when everything else was spinning. "You're going to be okay," he whispered. "Just stay with me." At the hospital, everything blurred. Machines, monitors, voices, urgent commands. The tests confirmed what he feared. My condition had worsened. Emergency surgical planning began immediately. My mother showed up 30 minutes later with 2 co-workers trailing behind her, all of them looking like they'd seen a ghost. She tried to push into my room, but Dr. Vernon blocked her. "We need to talk," he said. Later, I learned what he showed the administration. Every note, every recorded dismissal, every instance where my mother used her hospital influence to tell doctors I was exaggerating, every email where she mocked me to colleagues. Every time she convinced medical staff to downplay my symptoms. It wasn't just neglect, it was interference. She was suspended, then investigated, then fired, her license gone. As for me, Dar. Vernon performed the surgery that saved my life. He visited every day while I recovered. He protected me when my mother tried to show up. He refused to let her near my room. "You endangered your daughter," he told her. "You don't get access to her healing." My family tried to convince me to forgive her. My father begged, Caleb apologized without really understanding, but forgiveness doesn't erase the truth that I nearly died in that backyard, not because of the disease in my chest, but because of the disbelief surrounding it. And the most painful part, it wasn't strangers who doubted me, that it was the person who was supposed to know the difference between panic and a failing heart. Sometimes the most dangerous person in your life is the one wearing scrubs who insists they know you better than you know yourself.